Hey, Kat.
Hey, John.
Hi.
Hi. Are you
Hi.
for the Puppet Slam?
What? I can't hear you. You're muffled
Oh,
with the mask.
oh no, is it the mask?
I think so. It's hard to make out what you're saying. I can't read your lips either.
Jeez. Oh my God.
It's
Okay.
hard. Can't make out what you're saying.
John, I don't think we have to wear masks over Zoom.
Oh, right.
Right? Yeah.
That's right. Well, wait. I mean, should we check with the CDC or some other agency first?
No, I think it's okay. I think I'm just gonna take off the mask, okay? Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, if you think it's okay. Okay.
I think it's all right. Yeah.
All right.
So much
Great.
better, right?
Yeah, it's nice to see you.
It is nice to see you too, John.
And now we can get started, Kat.
Uh-huh.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 UConn Fall Puppet Slam, presented online through Facebook Live, as you already know. My co-host, Kat Folker, is a recent UConn graduate, now attending Columbia University Film School. I'm John Bell, the director of the Ballard Institute and Museum of Puppetry, and we are joined tonight by our talented backstage team, Emily Wicks, the Ballard Institute's Manager of Collections and Operations, Paul Spirito, Technical Supervisor of UConn's Puppet Arts program, and Elise Van Ass, our undergraduate Waring Fellow Assistant. And I want to make a very important announcement, Kat, that the Ballard Institute Museum is now open. We reopened on Saturdays only for a while, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. by reservation only because of the social distancing and stuff like that. See the comments column for more information. Come visit our museum. It's fun.
It's difficult times, John, and in times like these, I really like to think of like good words of wisdom.
Right.
hmm Do you have any words of wisdom, John?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I don't.
Do, do
I don't
you?
have
What
any.
about you? You're a young person.
Yeah, I guess I don't have any of those either. Well, instead, why don't we just go to our first performance?
All right.
Esme Roszel is a recent graduate of UConn's Puppet Arts BFA program. Esme, Noah Radcliffe, and his brother Ben now present A Bear Story, of which a hermit is the hero, an original song telling the tale of Old Man Sheldon and his heroic encounters with a bear.
Old man Sheldon of the canyon has not but one companion, and his lonely cave is several miles from town. Sheldon lives a simple life, has no weapon but a knife, a bit of metal with a stone he filed down. Heading out to fetch some flour, he was gone about an hour, plucking firewood outside along the road. He returned to find the foreigner crouching in the corner, a big black bear within his underground abode. When the hermit turns to hero, what a show it would have been to see, of course, had anyone been there. 'Tis a shame there was no witness of old Sheldon's mighty fitness and the brawl between the hermit and the bear. You can do it, Sheldon. You fight that bear. Oh, look out. Here she comes. When the hermit turns to hero, struck Sheldon in the shoulder, but the old man wasn't frightened in the least. Without a double check, he struck the Bruin in the neck, the fatal blow that finally killed the beast. Sheldon looked at what he'd done and realized that he won. 'Twas only he that took the monster down. Before a moment passed, Sheldon fainted in the grass and was there discovered by some folks from town. And he told them, "Boy, I was a hero, what a show it would have been to see. Of course, had anyone been there, 'tis a shame there was no witness of my mighty fighty fitness. But I guess that's just what happens when the hermit turns to hero. What a show it would have been to see, of course, had anyone been there. 'Tis a shame there was no witness of old Sheldon's mighty fitness. But that's just between the hermit and the bear."
Hello, my name is the licensed. You're running over from Connecticut Broadway. Today, I am here to talk to you about voting. I have been a U.S. citizen for 81 years, and still making you not allowed to vote. Now you, whether this is friend, can vote. Really, it's a discussion too for this environment that we're running. It is free election to uphold the Washington to write down as to what I want to allow. The rules are citizens and prison that will blah. It was a two-little master. The one. So, I hope you take your citizens to vote in my case. Visit vote.org to make your motion, follow the rules of the law, then call Caroline you. And what's that? With you with the buddy with and you know what to do. That's VOTE.org. VOTE.
Kat,
John!
you really liked that PSA, I think.
I loved it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's part of a Get Out the Vote announcement series by Puppet Arts students. This one by Alyssa Matthews, and throughout the show, we'll have other PSAs by other Puppet Arts students, including Felicia Cooper, Jenna Beth Davidson, Yaniv Frank, Elise Van Ass, and Mackenzie Doss throughout the slam.
That sounds like a lot of fun, John. And that last performance was also a lot of fun.
Yes, out in the open in the woods. I know, with the two twin brothers, I liked it a lot.
You know, it really does feel different being over Zoom.
Kind of is, although I'm spending a lot of time on Zoom and it seems almost normal, but also abnormal.
Yeah, it's a weird conundrum. But, you know, when I heard that the Puppet Slam was going to be over Zoom, I invited a few friends over to help me host.
That's really weird because I did the same thing too. I invited some friends over as well.
Oh my God, that's so cool. If I was watching at home right now, I'd make sure to start looking out for special guests.
I think so.
But in the meantime, I heard that you could electronically donate to this slam.
That's absolutely right, Kat, and you sure can, and we would appreciate it if you would. our friend Elise Van Ness is inserting information right now, even as we speak, about the site where you can contribute to the Ballard Institute, so we can keep on providing all sorts of online programming and puppet events and forums and stuff that we're going to talk about later in the interstices of the shows. And with that, we should go on to our next act, which is by Jack Fields, a multimedia puppet artist and animator from Florida, who has created for Ibex Puppetry, They Might Be Giants, and other fascinating artists. He is presenting an episode from his series Godrick Action News, in which Godrick, a refugee extraterrestrial, runs a news show from his underground burrow on Earth in an attempt to understand humans.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the premiere of Godrick Action News. I'm here to bring you the latest stories of interest regarding the state of your civilization. Typically, I live in an underground den of rotting filth, so it's hard to get the hottest scoops. That's why I'm connecting my brain directly to every source of world knowledge with the Godrick Action News computer. Let's call in the Godrick Action News team intern, Percy Lips. All right, Percy, just grab that cable there and initiate the news computer synthesis. Percy, that is not professional behavior. Get that Action News computer out of your mouth. Now take the cable. Good. Now slowly and carefully plug. Tonight on Godrick Action News, plague and famine, lament and ruination. A failed nation-state grapples with 1,000 new corpses daily. Congress and the Senate go on vacation, while millions face starvation and homelessness. The president begins dismantling the postal service during the lead-up to an election. Disease rips through schools like wildfire, engulfing our children. How long until we fall, like wheat to the sickle? Watch Godrick Action News for the scoop!
Godrick Action News. Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, hello.
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 Oh, hello, cat monster.
Are you enjoying the slam so far?
I sure am. Ah, ha, 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 ha. What a great collection of shows. That's a too bad that John had to step out to see a man about a horse.
Cat had to do that too. She's letting me introduce the next act.
The next act? How kind of her. I heard the next act is live. Why don't you go ahead and announce it, my friend?
Genna Beth Davidson is a puppeteer, actress, musician, and graduate student in the UConn Puppet Arts program. This new production, which will also be part of tomorrow's Women's Suffrage Puppet Pageant, is Jovita Idár, a maiden of justice, and it is about a Tejane in Laredo who stands her ground when the Texas Rangers threaten her newspaper. Let's go to that now. Oh!
this landscape is born Jovita Idár. Her father is an activist, editor, and publisher at La Crónica, a Spanish-language newspaper. At 19, Jovita takes up the family trades. She writes about inequality in education, about racism, and about women's rights. She uses pen names like Astrea, who is the Greek goddess of justice, and Ave Negra, blackbird. Let my pen fly and find the truth I can. Working women know their rights and proudly rise to face the struggle. The hour of their degradation is past. In 1914, she's writing for El Progreso. The paper publishes a piece protesting President Wilson's decision to send U.S. troops to the border. The Texas Rangers, who at that point were known for lynchings, ride up to the office expecting it to be empty. But Jovita is there working alone. We're going to silence your kind and shut this little paper down. This paper and our writers have a constitutional right to freedom of speech. You have no just cause here. Leave. Well, little miss is in a tizzy. Well, hey, no one's around now. It's our chance. Get in there. Get in there. Smash the printing press. Smash the printing presses. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. Out of Texas with you. Stop me from trying. You can't obstruct my mind. God knows you can try. God knows you will try. But I won't stop my fighting. I'll raise my chin and keep on fighting. Printing presses can be replaced. 'Cause I know who I am. Jovita was never deterred and continued to encourage other Tejanos to proudly raise your chins and face the fight. Until her death in 1946, Jovita wrote and organized for justice. She would say, educate a woman and you educate a family. I'm a blackbird. I'm a blackbird.
Hey, John.
Wow,
Wow.
we're back.
We are back.
There were some guest hosts there.
Yeah, I had to step out for a moment.
Me too.
Too? Yeah. Where did you go?
I had to see a man about a horse.
Oh, okay. I vaguely remember that. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
And before our next act, I heard that you had an announcement.
That's exactly true. It's related to Genna Beth's show, which I want to remind you was performed live.
Mm-hmm.
Live, like in the old days of live television, which you're too young to remember, probably.
Saturday Night Live is still live. So.
That's still live.
Know that.
Well, Genna Beth show's live. And, you know, when we're doing things live, we never know what's going to happen. But Genna Beth's show is going to be part of another live stream Ballard Institute event tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the Women's Suffrage Puppet Pageant, which will be on our live page. This gigantic miniature event uses the DIY technology of toy theater, of which Genna Beth's show is an example, flat cutout paper puppets, to celebrate women's suffrage heroes from around the world. Performers from across the US, as well as Puerto Rico, Guyana, and Palestine have created exciting biographical vignettes for the pageant, which is dedicated to Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
That sounds like fun, John. And I think that brings us to our next performance.
Yes, indeed, by Austin Costello, who I remember when he was a student in the Puppet Arts program. He's a puppeteer from Long Island who received his BFA from the Puppet Arts program in 2015, not so long ago. He's currently an apprentice at Sesame Street and the resident puppeteer, the puppet artist at Long Island Children's Museum. And the performance you are about to see is Fear, which was created as part of the Sesame Street Mentee Puppeteer Program. What horrors lie in wait for Tubby time? Vote by mail.
What a fun little PSA.
Yes, by Felicia Cooper, who's going to perform very shortly.
I can't.
And I also liked Austin's show. Sometimes he drives all the way from Long Island to stores to see the puppet slams, just saying.
Represent, got to support your university.
Yes.
Let's do, I think, our next act. Derron Wood is an executive artistic director and founder of Flock Theatre in New London, Connecticut, and also an adjunct professor at UConn's Dramatic Arts Department. Derron and Flock Theatre now present The Plague, a Cranky adaptation of Albert Camus' famous novel of the same name. Goo goo gaga, I'm a baby.
Oh, hello, baby. I'm an old man.
Oh, gee, I sure do love puppet slams.
Yeah, me too. And you know what's great about puppet slams? They're fun for the whole family.
That's right. Young and old, anyone can enjoy the next piece. What is it again?
Well, little baby, it's by Felicia Cooper, who's a graduate assistant at the Ballard Institute and Museum of Puppetry, and an MFA candidate in the Puppet Arts program at UConn. And she will now present live, Best Practices, an installment in the personal theater of collective anxieties.
I've been thinking about what we practice, whether that's a practice of care, of meditation, of understanding, a practice of the piano. A practice is something repeatable that we apply towards an aim or a goal, to be better at whatever. Maybe you have a practice of relaxation, of riding the bus across the bridge on a Friday at sunset, getting lost in thought, letting go of the week, and bracing yourself exactly where the most neglected areas of infrastructure are against the worst potholes in the city. Maybe you had a practice of going to the movies and timing your large popcorn order exactly right so that you missed all but the last trailer. And maybe you got the same soft drink every single time. Maybe now you're watching movies from home. Maybe you learned to pop popcorn on the stove instead. We've all had to make changes in our practices, maybe more than we thought we were capable of. We've had to learn how to get over the bridge of, this is the way we've always done it. Before, real change felt so out of reach. But now we know how to adapt, and we know that we're capable of that adaptation. We had to learn how to grocery shop every 3 weeks instead of every few days before we were ready to dismantle these systems. To change everything, it takes everyone. And I think we just needed a warm-up first. Maybe now you take long walks instead of riding the bus. Insurrection, after all, is a practice. Thank you.
That was a good one, I think.
It was, yeah, very relatable to current times.
And you know, I also really like Darren Wood's The Flock Theater show. I thought that was pretty exquisite.
I know there was a baby and an old man here earlier that got to, but yes, it was a very good show, very, very visually striking.
Right. I didn't understand. What's about the baby and the old man?
I don't know. Let's move on. You know, John, you know what I love? Awards.
Awards are really great, and they just had everybody's gearing up for award season, and they had the Emmys last week with Schitt's Creek won a lot of Emmys.
Yeah, Watchmen won a lot of Emmys. We just a great award season. But you know what my favorite award is?
The Bimpies.
Oh, you're right. It is the Bimpies. I love the Bimpies.
It's a pretty exciting night in northeastern Connecticut when the Bimpy Awards come around.
The most exciting night, yeah.
You know, the next performer is actually the winner of 2 Bimpies. He's a 2-time Bimpy winner, as we say.
Winner here tonight? Oh
yeah.
My Wow.
Would you like to do the honors of the introduction, Kat?
I would love to do the honors. Okay, Zach Broome is a graduate student at UConn studying puppetry and scenic design. Born in Georgia, Zach now lives in Connecticut, where he frolics in the winter snow in an attempt to counteract the effects of all the sweltering Georgia summers he has endured. He now presents The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, in which one night, whilst reading in his study, a man encounters a peculiar bird with an ominous message.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volumes of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more." Distinctly, I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books, so sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, or madam, "truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched above my chamber door. Perched above the bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. Perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore? Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one phrase, as if his soul in that one phrase he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Get thee down off my door." In defiance of my pleading, he stayed perched above my door. And then the bird said, "Bah, bah, bah, bah." Much I marveled this discordant fowl to hear discourse so mordant. The bird's squawk was so unnerving I could listen there no more. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being would abide such a decreeing from a bird upon his door. A raven so shrill and loathsome on the bust above his door. Stop it! Go away! Leave me in peace! You vile creature! Get out! Get out! Get out! Stop! Get off me! Go! You devil! Get out! Get that! Get that! And that! Nevermore.
Wow.
Wow, what a great use of shadows that was.
I know. I'm really impressed by Zach's piece there and his interpretation of the Poe poem, which is kind of an old chestnut in a way, but I thought that was really great.
He definitely brought his own spin to the piece.
Indeed.
John, you know what I'm really in the mood for?
No, I do not know that, Kat.
I'm really in the mood, matey, for a sea shanty. Do we have anything? Oh, what fun! Do we have anything like a sea shanty, John?
Arg, it's funny that you mention that, Kat, because our next performance is by Jason Futrell, a San Antonio-based puppeteer, puppet maker, filmmaker, musician, and jack of all trades. He presents Sea Shanty Town Meeting, in which a terrible crime has befallen the town of Sea Shanty, and the mayor and the Seabeard man attempt to discover the culprit.
Now look, I know this was a hideous crime, but as the mayor of this town, I want to caution against blaming anyone. Oh no, it's the Seabeard man!
Yar, the mayor'd be cowardly. There are plenty to blame. Let's start with that there seaweed man.
In the town of Sea Shanty, you are never alone. His obsidian eyes and soul will follow you home. And the hook where his hand should be will give you a fright as he walks the beach for seaweed every morning to night. Seaweed man, seaweed man, seaweed man.
'Twarn't me.
Okay, it weren't the seaweed man. For probably the seagull man.
In the town of Sea Shanty, you can't be by yourself. With a man such as he and his what's eye in your wealth. These birds of a feather will all but spit in your eye when those filthy rats with wings go crazy mad and fly high. Seagull man, seagull man, seagull man.
'Twarn't me neither. 'Twere probably that there Seabeard man. All right, it weren't the Seagull Man. But who committed this horrible crime? All right. It were me. I'd do it again. She looks better with the beard.
If you like ice cream, you should vote. If you don't like ice cream, you should vote. Ice cream has nothing to do with voting.
That really satisfied my need for a sea shanty, John.
Yeah, it wasn't really interesting.
It's a good time.
Maybe I should see it again too. Seabeard Man.
All these great pieces, it really makes me think, is there a place where I can get an education in puppet arts like this, John?
As a matter of fact, there is, Kat, and that would be the UConn Puppet Arts program, pretty much the only one of its kind in the United States, because it offers BA, MFA, and MA degrees in puppetry. And we recruit, like right this second, we're recruiting. And you can find more information about the UConn Puppet Arts program right now in the chat column on the Facebook Live, because we want you to know about it and people to come here.
Wow, that seems like a really great program that I'm just now learning about. And it brings us to our next performer, a current UConn Puppet Arts student, Anthony Sellitto. Anthony is a second-year undergrad in the UConn Puppet Arts program and a founder of their own movie club. They are currently held up in quarantine and decided it would be nice to come out briefly and perform a magic show. They hope you like it. Otherwise, they will remain spellbound in a magical yo-yo spinning endlessly through space. Anthony Sellitto now presents Magic Show. Come one, come all to the most magical show of them all. Wow, John, what a good time.
That was an amazing magic show. And I really appreciate the way Anthony redefined magic in the woods in Connecticut so much.
John, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you go ahead, because I think I'm about to say something more.
No, I was just going to ask if you had anything more to say, so it's perfect.
I do, because I wanted to note that this UConn Fall Puppet Slam, the first one ever that we've done online, and I think we're doing sort of okay, knock on wood,
It's
considering.
going pretty okay, I think, yeah.
It's supported by the Puppet Slam Network, an amazing organization that supports scores of puppet slams and slam-like events across the United States and Canada, and I think Mexico, offering an amazing platform for new works of puppetry. Yeah, we're thankful for the Puppet Slam Network, because they've been supporting us ever since we started doing puppet slams.
No, yeah, exactly. And I think that brings us to our next piece.
I think it does, which is by a company called Campfire Tales, which is comprised of Ali Direct, a puppeteer, clown, actor, and maker based in Calgary, Alberta, Emma Fisher, a puppeteer, set designer, and artistic director of Beyond the Bark, and Monica Ila, a visual artist and puppeteer in Calgary, who is currently attending Alberta University of the Arts. During the lockdown, these three friends got together and created a short puppet film based on Pirates Are Us, a song by Pirates Are Us, the Kotzebue Shuffle. And this is the first of a series of tales told by three friends virtually around a campfire through shadow puppetry. Campfire Tales, the Kotzebue Shuffle.
Sailing the Arctic Sea, lads disappear, but not in the way that you and I fear. The kidnapper comes on nights such as this, and goes by the name of Aurora Borealis. So if you see them, purse your lips as you clench all 10 of your fingertips. For if they don't hear you whistling some tune, they'll drag you screaming to the moon. But they take only your soul, and what's left behind will be dumped and rowed ashore to the old lead mine. With pick in hand, your hollow shell will be doomed to dig a hole in eternal hell. Sailing the Arctic Sea, the lads have found there's very little in the way of pleasant sound. So we made up this story with that in mind, to try to scare our sailors who are musically inclined.
What a fun campfire tale.
I thought that was amazing. And there's like shadow puppetry plus some digital animation done really interestingly. It strikes me, Kat, that in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, that puppetry is adapting itself in all sorts of really interesting ways to, you know, the Zoom screen.
Yeah,
you know, puppetry can do that.
You have such a convenient little box here that you can play with, and it's really interesting to see how people are creating within these limitations.
I think. Do you want to introduce the next piece?
Yeah, time for the next piece. Okay, Maggie Flanagan is a recent UConn alum from New Hampshire. She is currently working for herself as a puppet fabricator and animator. She presents now Tuesday Meeting, a regular video confabulation in which nothing unusual occurs, performed with Elise Finesse and Rob Cutler.
Wah, wah, thank you all for being here for our first Zoom meeting. I know we all wish we could be together like every new moon, but for now we can be together apart. And now that we have offered our voices in supplication to our dark Lord Gorgath, praise his unholy darkness, we can begin the ritual of summoning.
I hope you guys are staying healthy.
Yeah, crazy times. I've just been catching up on my TV backlog. Did you guys see Tiger King?
Stay focused, shall we? Now, I shall consult the unholy text. For the next step in the ritual, we shall light our blood wax candles and lift the flame.
Sorry, I don't have my candle.
What do you mean you don't have your candle?
Well, I didn't bring mine home with me after the last summoning. I thought we'd only be quarantined for like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what we can do. Dark stars, blood rain, skull chalice. Aha! Lift your light to the moonless darkness. Looks like it just needs to be a light, not specifically a flame.
Could I use my iPhone flashlight?
Yeah, that should be pretty bright.
Cool, yeah. Well, it's the new iPhone 11, so the flashlight should be pretty bright.
Now, we shall light our blood wax candles and phone flashlight, and lift the lights to the moonless darkness of the night. May the dark Lord Gorgath praise his unholy darkness. Accept the flames into his terrible bright eyes. Now, does everyone have their unholy water?
Yep. Got it.
Oh, good. Now we anoint ourselves in the unholy water stolen from secret pools. It's like a shower.
Like nose.
Now, don black robes in humble mimicry of your dark soul. Okay, we're gonna get your black robes.
Yeah, got it. All right. Well, this works. Yeah.
And, wait. Stop. Those aren't your dark robes.
They're at my mom's house.
You live down the street from your mom. Go get them.
My mom's immunocompromised. I can't just go over. Can't I just use my bathrobe? It's fleece.
No, you can't. The text says robes dyed, wool of a two-headed lamb, dyed in the black ink of nightmares. It's very specific.
Well, it's all that fits me right now.
Are you kidding me? How are we supposed to perform the ritual if you don't have your ceremonial materials?
Well, do we have to?
What?
Do we have to summon him this month? I mean, don't you think maybe with everything in this current situation, we could just take the month off?
Take a month off? No. We can make this work. We can still do the ceremony.
I don't know. Maybe we should just postpone.
What's gotten into you two? Don't you want the Dark Lord Gorgath?
Praise his unholy darkness!
To rain down terror on the Steeplegate Mall?
Curse capitalism!
They're alive!
Yes, let your anger flow freely.
But isn't 2020 cursed enough as it is?
I can't believe this. Well, if you two won't help me, then I'll summon him myself.
What? You can do that?
Why are we even here? You can just summon him.
Splash the water, don the black robes, sacrifice bone and blood, and cut the gossamer fabric of reality, and Dark Lord Gorgath.
Praise his unholy darkness.
May your name be praised and feared. Gift me with your terrifying and glorious presence. Give unto me your powers of destruction and terror.
Who disturbs me from my slumber?
It is I, your most unfaithful servant. I am requesting your dark powers.
For this reason you summon the Dark Lord Gorgath?
Praise his unholy darkness.
Actually, I was kind of thinking of maybe taking a month off. Maybe a couple of months?
What?
Well, terror is a matter of diminishing returns. If I summoned blood rains, folks would just say 2020. Am I right?
But Dark Lord Gorgath, praise
his unholy darkness.
I said cut that out.
But what should we do?
I don't know. Wash your hands, wear a mask, donate to a bail fund. You guys figure it out. We can't make the world worse until we make it better. Now, if you'll excuse me, the Tiger King is waiting. Bye.
See? He likes Tiger King.
Just shut up. Just shut up.
Well, I guess we're done. You know how to end meetings?
Yeah, you're supposed to hit the red button, but I thought the host had to end it.
All I have is just power on my computer. I don't know which one that is.
I gotta pee, so bye. Until next month.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
If you're nervous cause your country's sinking like a boat, then get off your butt and go and vote. Go vote. I'm a puppet and I approve this message.
Wow.
I'm gonna have that Go Vote song stuck in my head for the rest of the evening.
It's a good one, and Yaniv Frank, I bet he invented that or something.
No, it's a fun little jingle, and what a fun little Zoom meeting. How relatable in our current situation.
I think so. I appreciated that, and the names in the corner of the and that was very good because we do a lot of Zoom meetings these days.
I feel like I'm constantly on a Zoom meeting. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, but it's a fun Zoom meeting, if I do say so myself.
No, well, I feel like we've reached sort of the last few, the sort of end stretch of our performances here. Do you have any more announcements you'd like to share before we continue?
As a matter of fact, I do, Kat. We want to invite everyone to the next UConn Online Puppet Forum on Thursday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The subject is the Renaissance of African American Object Performance, and it features an amazing array of African American puppeteers, scholars, and artists, sometimes all wrapped up in one person. This bevy of panelists includes Dr. Paulette Richards, the co-curator of our Living Objects African American Puppetry Exhibition, Festival, and Conference, Edna Bland from Florida, Schroeder Cherry from Baltimore, and Anwar Floyd Pruitt from Wisconsin, whose work is really amazing. That's great.
It is great. Sounds a lot of interesting fun.
Yeah, and there's puppet forums after that too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll go on and introduce the next show.
Please do, yeah.
It's by Mackenzie Doss, who received her master's degree in writing from the University of Edinburgh and is currently a UConn Puppet Arts second-year graduate student, a woman with many vocations. Mackenzie is currently interested in developing her object performance skills and writing for puppetry performance. She presents Toxic Mask-ulinity, a short comedic piece about the idea of a mask having to wear a human.
turtles love me. But before I go, I want you to know, life on your face the last 15 minutes, you had to wear me into Starbucks. Wasn't easy. What with you salivating all over my back? I mean, who refuses to tip on principal? What principal, pal? Principally cheap? A principal jerk? Look, I ain't a hard partner to live with. I'm a good listener. I consider myself pretty relaxed cut. I even don't mind that you wash me in the same load as those tacky political flags. So why am I the bad guy? Why do I have to lose my job too? I mean, do I dock your salary to buy my kid a car? Did I shut down your local polling center? Do I monitor all the shit you do online? No, buddy. I just cover that mouth that seems to be spewing nothing but hate these days. And let me tell you, away one mask, but really, you ditched two. And now, folks can get a pretty good look at you.
That's amazing how much there's work about COVID is turning up in this puppet slam.
Well, it's something we're all dealing with right now, and I think art serves as a cathartic way to talk about these things that
and puppetry too, like making a puppet out of a face mask, like that's kind of good.
It is, yeah. But before we continue, do we have an announcement we want to say?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of announcements, but I would like to remind folks that if they want to help us in the economic way by making a donation to the Ballard Institute so we can continue doing programming of this sort in the forums and then this and that, you can go to the site listed in the chat column, the information that Elise is putting up there, and help us out with your donation.
And moving to the next piece, freelance artist Bonnie Kim received her MFA degree in theater from the University of Hawaii Manoa. Focusing on arts education with puppetry, masks, and movement, she's offering a Cranky and Shadow puppet piece inspired by an old Korean children's song, Island Lullaby, from the 1950s. The Korean War began in 1950 and has been in a ceasefire since 1953. This piece dedicated to those who have lost and suffered from the war and hope for a peaceful reunification of North and South Korea in the near future.
Ago, there was a mother who lived with her sweet, darling baby in a tiny, tiny house on an island. When mother goes to pick some oysters, baby stays home alone. Listening to the sea, lulled by the song of the sea. Baby falls asleep ever so softly. 새끼는 잠을 Baby's in deep, sweet dream, all alone at home. The cry of seagulls makes mother's heart though the basket is not full of oysters yet. She runs home to be back with her baby. 아가야, 엄마 곧 집에 올 거야. 울지 말고 기다려. Mommy's coming home very soon, okay? Mommy's coming.
Whose purpose, General Ridgway states, is not to seize ground, but to wipe out the enemy. The Chinese Red Army, fighting desperately in small isolated stands, prefers to give ground on wider fronts rather than join battle. And it's up to the infantry to clear out the pockets of die-hard communists.
That's a great performance.
Brah! Sure was. What's up next?
Oh, that's John.
Oh, my dog wanted me to announce the next show, little cat lamb. And I wanted to also thank Bonnie Kim for her great show about a very serious subject, the Korean War. And Unima Korea has sent us, the Ballot Institute, many, many, many face masks. We appreciate their generosity. The House of Funny Noises is a puppet film collective in Bristol, UK, formed in the first months of the quarantine by puppeteer Catherine V. Rock, puppet maker Izzy Bristow, animator fabricator Helena Houghton. They will now present Sling Jaw, a cheeky subversion of nature documentaries, which presents the audience the unique and mechanically efficient Sling Jaw wrasse.
This is a sling jaw wrasse. It is like most other reef fish. It hides from predators. It burrows itself in the sand to sleep. It gets freaky with other fish. A female will even become male if they get big enough, so they can get freaky with as many fish as possible to produce as many babies as possible. This is called protogeneous hermaphroditism. The babies then float away in the current to grow into big strong fish, or get eaten by shrimp. Really, most of them will get eaten by shrimp. But all of that is speculation, because humans only care about one thing when it comes to the sling jaw wrasse. Its weird mouth. This is what scientists call extreme jaw protrusion, and the sling jaw wrasse does it best of all the fish. You see, the sling jaw likes to eat tiny, tiny things. Not quite that tiny, back it up just a bit. And tiny, tiny things are pretty dang good at hiding, until someone with a highly protrusible jaw comes along. If we take a quick look inside the sling jaw's head, we can see just what kind of wonderful madness makes this possible. Boo! Spooky, right? You can see the complexity of the structures that allow the sling jaw to thrust its jaw forward so far. Like other fish in its order, it has a simple four-bar linkage composed of its eye bones and cranium that can extend its close relation's jaw forward half the distance of the sling jaws. But to get those extra few centimeters of extension, the sling jaw has undergone an incredible adaptation in its lower jaw, developing a full 6-bar mechanism that is both dynamic and robust enough to reliably catch fish. Highly protrusible jaws also keep small prey from being pushed away from their mouths as the fish swims towards it. Would you rather try and catch shrimp with your flappy human lips set into your big mammal face? Or with your delicate human fingers, if they were also attached to your big mammal face? Oh, I thought so. But thanks to millennia of intense evolution, that is not something the sling jaw will have to worry about ever again. So now you know about the sling jaw wrasse.
Well, John. I love the little music. Well, John, we sure did have fun, a fun night together, right? Oh. I know that music. It's a little weird, right? Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a real puppet slam without a few little technical hitches. John, you've got to unmute yourself.
You know what?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. What, John?
That music was coming from my computer.
Oh, no. Well, it was fun. It was a fun little musical moment.
I think it kind of ruined the sound of the Sling Jaw show because you couldn't hear what they were saying. So
I actually thought the Sling Jaw show went off pretty.
Oh, okay. Elise says no one else can hear that.
I could hear. You know what? Let's just move on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Other than that.
Other than that, there's been no drama over hosting. There's
Okay.
Drama.
Well,
yeah.
Apparently, only you and I heard that music.
You were going insane.
Oh my gosh. Well, other than that, we didn't have any. You and I didn't have any drama, or there were no wardrobe mishaps.
No, we've been really on this entire night. But yeah, the night,
It's not over. Some stuff could still happen.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Weird stuff.
Maybe I should take the next introduction for the piece. Okay. Linda Wingatier of the String Pullers Puppet Company is a visual and performing artist, illustrator, kinetic sculptor, and third-generation puppeteer in Ithaca, New York. She presents Dorothea Remembers, a film shadow sequence using paper cuts, transparent materials, sand, and water. Dorothea Remembers was originally projected as Memories in the live theater production of On the Other Side of the Sea at the Cherry Arts Theater. The original music is by Mary Lorson and Alexa Schmitz.
Linda Wingirter.
What a beautiful piece.
Yeah, I think this is the first time she's performed in a UConn Puppet Slam, and she used to live in New Haven, and I was hoping she would one day perform at a slam, and now she has, and it's another great show. So that was the last, sort of almost the ultimate, kind of last big show of the evening. And I wanted to let people know that they should come and watch our women's suffrage puppet pageant. I almost said slam, but it's not a slam. It's almost like a slam. It's a pageant. And that'll happen tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time on our Facebook page live, which is where people are watching this now. What else, Kat?
No, I think it's time to give our final goodbyes. You know,
yes.
COVID, I think it's nice that we've been able to share this evening together. You know, yeah. Is there anyone you'd like to thank, John?
Absolutely. I'd like to thank, and maybe they can come on so we can see them, Emily Wicks and Paul Spirito and Elise Van Ass and Felicia Cooper and Genna Beth Davidson and Bart Rocco Burton of the Puppet Arts Program and Matthew Cohen of the Puppet Arts Program and the Puppet Slam Network. Everybody. And thank you. Have a safe time getting home.
Have a safe trip. Wait, we're already home.
Oh. And don't forget to vote.
Yes. Good night, everyone.